Hello, Ms. Buchanan's Algebra 1A. I'm taking a look at the product and power rule combined. This is going to be done on Thursday, I believe, or maybe even Friday, I'm not sure. But there is this assignment that you're going to have eventually in the future. I'm not going to be here on Thursday, so that's why I'm on the 13th, so that's why I'm putting it out there for you right now. Okay, so we're going to simplify, and our answer should contain only positive exponents. So we're putting the product rule and the power rule, and we're combining them. So she wants to remind you to do the power rule first to take care of business. I'm going to walk you through and try to get you to the answers that you need. On the odd ones, I'm going to show you also on the even ones which ones, like what you could do in case you need help. And I will walk you through one of those too at the end. So let's take a look at number one. I'm going to do what's in the parentheses first. So I have 2, and then my x, I have a 4 minus 2, so I'm just multiplying them here, so I can go ahead and do that. And then, so this is doing the power rule first, doing what's in parentheses first. You would do that anyways with please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or the order of operations. And then I have y to the fourth and y to the negative fourth. 4 minus 4 is 0, y to the 0. This is just going to be a 1 there. I'm going to actually just get rid of that y. And I still have all of this to the fourth power. Now I got to deal with this. So 2 to the fourth power is 16. X to the second times 4. Remember, this is the product rule. You're going to take the 2 times the 4, which gives you 8. And then, this is product rule too. 4 times 0 is 0. You have, you still have y to the 0, which is just nothing, or 1, actually. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So it's 16x 8 times 1 is 16x to the 8th. So there's your final answer right there. 16x to the 8th. Let's take a look at number 3. I take all of this, and since it's to the negative first power, I move it down below the line to make it denominator. So all of this inside goes below the line. So since I have a fraction here, I'm going to turn this into a fraction. So I'm just going to put it over 1 so I can kind of see what's going on here. Okay. Now, I actually should have showed you the step in between. I'm going to write that over here. I actually had m2 on top. And then I had, the 2m to the fourth, n to the negative fourth. So since this is a negative 4, I'm going to take that and put it up here. And then this I'm going to take down here because I'm going to find the difference between these two, okay? So actually it's 2 minus 4, which is negative 2, so I keep it down here. So that's how this, since this n to the negative fourth went up here, that's how this became the final answer. N to the fourth over 2m to the second. Remember when you have like this situation here, m2 over m4, you subtract them. So 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So since it's negative 2, I put it down below. Again, it just stays down below. And so I have 2m to the second down here. For number 5, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to do this product rule because I don't have really a power rule to be working with right at this moment. So I'm going to take 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And I still have the x squared, and I have this y to the negative first. So this is going to equal, now I'm going to put these two together. This negative 6 and this negative 1 become, and you just add these when you're just multiplying them. So that becomes negative 7, and I still have x to the second power. This equals, now I take the y to the negative 7th and put it below into the denominator because it was negative. And this x squared stays on the top because it's positive. So I have x squared over y to the 7th. And that's the final answer right there. For number 7, I'm going to go ahead and do the power rule. And so 2 to the third power is 8. 4 times 3 here is 12. Then I have all this stuff, x2 and this y4 still. So this is all just multiplied together. And now I'm going to do the power rule again because I have this 2 on the outside of the parentheses. So 8 squared is 64. And 12 times 2 is 24. 2 times 2 here is 4. 4 times 2 here is 8. Now I can put my y's together, okay? And you could have put your y's together in here too and then done this and you would have got the same answer. So now I have just adding 8 plus 24 and I get 32. So 64 y to the 32nd power and I still have x to the 4th. Number 9. I'm going to take both of these and put them down below into the denominator because they are negative. I'm going to make them positive. This, I'm going to put this value above on the numerator because since I'm working with a fraction anyways, it's just a little bit easier for me to see. So 2 to the third power is 8. 3 times 3 is 9. So now I have a new numerator and I have a new denominator. Then remember this 9 is going to be minus 3, which is 6. So I have 8x to the 6th over y2 is still down there in the denominator. Can't forget about that. Number 11. I'm going to make this into a fraction because I'm going to change this into a fraction because this is a negative 1, so I'm going to put it down below. So I'm going to keep this above, down below, keep this above, and I'm going to keep all this above after I do the product rule. 2 to the 4th power is 16. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16, all over 1. Now I can see I do everything on the top. I just kind of put it all together and add these. 2 plus 12 is 14. 3 plus 16 is 19. And I still have this m down here. So remember, I have an m and an m, numerator, denominator. 14 minus this 1m is going to be 13, so my final answer. And I could have it over 1, but I don't need to. This is my final answer, 16, m to the 13th, n to the 19th. Anything to the 0 power is 1, so this just all turns into 1. And I still have yx to the 2nd. So 1 times yx to the 2nd is yx to the 2nd, or if you want to rearrange it and put it in alphabetical order, like a lot of people do, like myself, I just move the x squared in front, so it's x squared times y. Either or would be good. Remember what I said up here. Anything to the 0 power is 1. You could have a million, 0 power 1. Take a look at your calculator. You could put anything. 999 to the 0 power, 9,999 is 1. Anything that's to the 0 power is 1. So this is actually the easiest one, your last one. Everything, all this junk in here to the 0 power just makes it 1. Doesn't make a difference. If you're still having problems when you're working on 2 through 14 and you want to check yourself, one thing I did is I worked these problems out and then I checked myself to see, because I want to give you guys good advice and good answers, good ways to do this. What I did was I went to Symbolab, the exponent calculator. And it looks a little bit like this. Exponent calculator. And this is Symbolab. I typed in first exponent calculator and then I went down. It's about the third one down, Symbolab. And you could plug in these problems, okay? So, say you have, what's the shortest one for me to plug in? Actually, number 4 is the shortest one for me to plug in. This one, for number 4, let's do number 4. I mean, we don't even have to plug it in. But, anything to the 0 power is 1. So this is 1 times y to the 3rd. That equals y to the 3rd. So, we're done with number 4. So there's a number 4 for you. But if I was to plug in this one, if I wanted to check myself, I just type that into this Symbolab calculator. And I have 2x, and I go use this here to get my exponent 3. And then I click back down because I want to put in a y. And you could use the same letters that are, you know, in your problem. You want to do that because it'll put it all together for you. Just to, you know, once again, make sure you're doing it right. Because you work it out and then see, okay, do I have this? Because on a test, you're not going to be able to use this, you know? So, and then this is times. So you have the dot just like they have. And then I have x, and once again to the 0. You all know that this is all going to be 1 back here anyway, so really this is all going to just kind of drop off. You're not going to even use it. Okay, so you have all this information here and you just hit go. It gives you the answer right here. You know, this -2 times the 2 would have been a 4, -4, so that's why it's moved down here. 2 to the second power is 4. 3 times 2 is 6, so the 4x to the 6 stays up top. So you can see how it worked out, but you know what's nice about this is this Symbolab takes you step by step and shows you how it worked it out, okay? How it got to that answer. So it shows you the steps. So 4x to the 6 over y to the 4th. And you're going to want to write your steps because you don't want to just write the answer. You want to, you know, demonstrate that you know how to do these. So 4x to the 6th over y to the 4th is what we got, and then you would, you know, you would put the steps in where you did 4x to the 6th, and this became y to the -4th. And this all just changed to 1, so times 1. So you know, it just kind of, it's this. This is all over 1. I take this and I move this down to be a positive exponent, and so that's how I got my final answer. So there's using Symbolab a little bit, and hopefully that helps. Good luck with the rest.